Good morning, folks. Soap of the day is going to be from Jeeves of Hudson Street. Scent profile. The scent is cherry blossom. You'll be hard pressed to find one of these. I don't think this is being offered anymore, at least in puck form. And I haven't seen it in a plastic container either. I also got the alum block complete with rubber band. Following up with Humphrey's Witch Hazel Lilac Scented. Aftershave is Master, checkered flag, and this is this one here. Yeah, 3-ounce size. It comes in a larger bottle. I got these from Atlanta Barbershop, Barber Beauty, something like that. I've got the link down below. Sorry. Anyway, this is only like $1.95. So if you're not sure whether you like one of their scents, you can get a small one like this one here for $1.95 and give it a try. This will be the third aftershave I've tried this week, and I have to say that the aftershave goes on very smooth. Feels good on the face. Not a whole lot of stinging. Be honest with you, I really like them. It's a good try in my opinion. Shaver day. This week I've been shaving with Occam's razor. Comes in a box like this, and the sleeve slides off. Try not to get everything wet. That's what it looks like there on the inside. Down below I have included a link to the Classic Shaving website for this shaver, as well as the video that they have explaining a lot of giving you a lot of information about the shaver, just explaining about it. It comes with some cards with some good information, what is recommended in the way of the blades with each plate, and as well as give an explanation of their dot system there that they're using, which seems to be pretty universal about what folks are using. Also, this will probably be pretty important if you're unfamiliar with the Feather Artist Blade Club blades. They don't always come. They don't come in the same width or thickness, and that might be an important thing to know. In the video, you'll notice that there'll be 2 holes in the box for the screws. Looks like they've changed that, and your extra screws will come in a plastic bag like this one here, but the one I got has got the extraction tool plus the 2 more plates for the, I guess you might say, mild and aggressive. For me, I have been working with the 2-dot plate. Been working with it for the whole entire time that I've been shaving with it. I have not tried any of the other 2 plates just yet. I guess you might say I've got some different blades. For instance, I've got the one I'm shaving with today, which would be the 4th shave on the Super Blade, and from Feather. And I have shaved with the Kai Pink, and outstanding shave with this one here. I mean, from the very first shave on the 2-dot plate, fantastic shave. In that video that I've got linked down below, it does mention that this is on a floating head system, and depending on what blades you use, you might get a little bit of a rattle. It might move in there. I have not noticed any ill effect of the shave with that. And I must say, with the Kai Pink, I noticed that it rattled, kind of floated around in there in the shaver. But when I put it in here, put the Super in here, I don't have, it's a snug fit. It doesn't rattle at all. One of the things that I'll mention in the video is, for instance, is that it works off what he refers to as a rail system. So when you first put the blade in, what I'm going to refer to is that there's a guide. There's guides on each end. That's based on I guess you might say, the base plate, even though it's not removable. So when you first put it in, the blade in there, you'll have to be careful not to run into those guides. And then through the center of the blade, you'll have to bend it down just a little bit to get below hard to see, these posts right here, and that's where the blade will snap into place. My Kai blade, when I used it and I've inserted it in there, just bent it down in the center just a little bit, went right into place. The Super, I had to give it a nudge for it to snap into place. It's a pretty tight tolerance, in other words. Outside of that, everything worked just fine. I have not used that extraction tool. Haven't used all. I've been using my fingers, so that gives you some sort of idea what kind of, I guess you might say, design. I'm pretty impressed with this razor. The shaves I've been getting with it, it's easy to find the angle because it's preset. The handle, excuse me, when they first came out with this handle and I saw this one, I wasn't too sure this handle was going to work for me, and I found, just took to it naturally. I was really surprised. I didn't even notice till partway through the shave I realized that I hadn't even really noticed any odd problems with it using that handle. Like I said, I still have yet to use that extraction tool. I thought for me it's just as easy to use my fingers. Now it does mention in the video if that floating head, that rattle, bothers you, you can take the blade on each end and bend it upwards just a little bit, so that it gives it a little bit of tension so that the head doesn't rattle or float around in there. For me, like I said, I had no problems with the shave with the rattle. Didn't even notice it during the shave but once or twice. So depending on, I guess you might say, where you're at with learning how to shave with this shaver, you may not even notice after a while, or the way you're shaving it doesn't rattle, if you will. Really can't say anything negative about this thing so far. I'm really surprised. Like I say, I included a link for the razor as well as the video, and that link for, if you're interested in looking at the, I think the dollar amount right now is still rolling around at $60, which that is one of the reasons why I decided to go ahead and get a try, because I think the original price, $220. Yeah, definitely not my price range. But when they dropped it down to $60, I decided to give it a try. I already had, matter of fact, I used my last blades in the razor, my last Super out of this pack right here. And this one here is my original, this is my first feather Super. In other words, I've been using this with my Feather Artist Club shavette. 20 blades has lasted me a good long while. So I already had some of those blades, and I use these blades in my shaver, so I don't, in other words, I'm already using it, and I thought, well, I'll just give this a try and see if I find another shaver that uses the same blades. And I had ordered the Kai Pinks, and that was really a pleasant surprise. I did think, in between the blades, in between Kai Pink and the Feather Super, I think the grind is what makes the biggest difference. I have to give that a little bit more thought, because the Kai Pinks definitely felt sharp, but it had just such a different shave feel. Very smooth, but like I say, right out of the gate. To me, Super, using the two dot plate, boy howdy. Of course, the very first shave is a bit more aggressive than comfortable, but then after that, each shave after that, it seems like things have just gotten better, smoother, more comfortable. Not quite like the Kai Pinks, but still a very mild, easygoing shave. I know most folks don't shave with a Super. They use a professional. I tried professional blades in my shave heads. I just couldn't, just didn't give me a good smooth shave at all. Just couldn't. In other words, I knew that Super was going to be the blade, at least as goes for feather. Now, I have not tried the feather guard, and I have been kind of interested in giving that a try. By the way, here's my shave mug with the bucket of soap here. The brush here is got horsehair. This is a eBay find, and it was inexpensive, $6–7. I haven't seen them on eBay in a while, so I don't know if they're no longer making these or not. This horsehair knot, the knot itself is shedding quite a bit this morning, so don't be surprised if you don't see a few bristles come out. But sometimes you get what you pay for at that price. Yeah, there's another one right there. Yeah, it's been shed. This is the first time I've had it shed quite so much though. Before, you know, I get maybe three bristles. Not too terribly bad, but this morning, closer to a dozen. I mean, it's shedding bad. Go ahead and give this a start. I have had no problems with it clogging up. The way this is designed, you can call it a clog proof. You can do the whole shave. It's not going to clog up on you. I say that. I'm a daily shaver, so the clogging would be more along the lines of the shaving cream as opposed to like if I had a 5-day growth of hair or something like that. Now, if you're not used to a single edge shaver, the shave feel will be different the first time you use this. Probably wouldn't start out with a super. I'd go with a mild blade. You may not get as near as many shaves with a mild blade if your beard is kind of coarse, but your shave should be pretty comfortable. With this blade being a little bit wider, it does cover a wee bit more area. I guess I should point out, I haven't showed that just yet. They're pretty good about showing it in the video. The 2 screws that are right there, they're Phillips head screws. I would recommend, and I have got mine at Walmart, to find a screwdriver with a magnetic tip. If you're working with this around the sink, definitely make sure the stopper in the sink is in, and I would use a towel right in front of you, whether you're using it at the desk or at the sink, so that if the screw does fall, and I would use a thick towel, look it over here at my towels, a thick towel, so that when the screw drops it sticks into the towel, because those screws are little, they're tiny. And I didn't see on the website them offering any replacement screws if you should lose more than what they give you. So I don't know for sure how that would work out. I'm assuming sending a message and they'll work something out for you. But there was a con, it's the screws, because they are tiny and pretty easy to drop. Like I said, I would use a screwdriver with a magnetic tip to help keep it from dropping and hitting. Like my bathroom's got a tile floor, and so not only will it hit that tile floor, but it'll probably roll away somewhere where you can't see it, of course. Pass number 2 here. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell in a shave about how smooth one's going. But typically for me, with this particular blade, shave 4, I can start telling that there's been a few shaves on the blade, and shave 5 is usually about the last shave I get with one of these, being smooth and comfortable. I've stretched them out to 10. but you have to pay very close attention to your shave. I usually just work with 5 on a super and call it good at that point. So if you're looking for a single edge shaver that doesn't use injector blades and you're already using Feather Artist Club blades, this might be worth checking into, like I say, especially at a $60 price point. I remember seeing one with the handle that looked like a tuning fork. That was another one that when I saw that I was like, no, don't think I could do that one. I think it was just a thought. I don't know if they actually sold any of those or not. It might have been just a prototype. I don't think I could. Just to look at that, it was, in other words, had that negative feeling of something I probably couldn't mentally get past. It might have been just fine, but I just didn't think I could do it. This handle here is quite a bit of challenge, just mentally get past it. Typical handle being round, octagon or something of the sort, and this one here just didn't look like it'd be comfortable. I said, I don't even give it any thought. Trying to make sure I don't even got any strays trying to show up. I really enjoy shaving with it. For me, it's one of those shaves that are easy going. I guess you might say it's easy to, if you're wanting to enjoy the scent of your soap and less focus on the shaver. For me, that's what this shave is. Thursday, I'll start shaving with the pink. At the end of this shave, I'll pull this blade out and show you, excuse me, show you the blade. And then in the next video, I'll show you what the blade looks like in a Kai pink and do a side by side, if you will, on that video. Kind of see that, my opinion, the ground, how the blades are ground, just quite a bit different. And the thickness is a lot different too. Very enjoyable shave. Enjoy the heck out of this shaver, especially at $60. Adjustable, if you will. So if a 2-dot plate using a super is a little bit aggressive for you, one of these days I'm going to have to try the 1-dot. I don't know. I guess one day I will, just to know. And I'll definitely will be using the pink, the aggressive plate. I don't know that I would. With the supply, I was very interested in how the aggressive plate would work out, so I used it. This one here, how can you say, because of, it's not aggressive, but I do feel like that if I use the 3-dot and then try to use the super, that it would not be a smooth, comfortable shave. I guess you might say that's my impression right now without even using it. I'd have to use the pink. Never used a Pro Guard. Some folks that I've seen that use a Pro Guard that's got a thick beard growth don't particularly care for the Pro Guard. Doesn't work out too well for them for some reason. Thinking that thick beard growth takes its toll on the blade. In other words, blade doesn't last very long. Got just a little bit of stinging right there. Don't see a weeper or anything, but it might be one trying to start. Like I say, About the fourth shave, I can start really telling. Definitely on the fifth, but I just pay attention. Be careful with your shave. You can get by with 5 shaves. Without any cuts, nicks, weepers with the super. At least I can. Kai Pinks, I think I went. I can't remember if I went 3 or 4 shaves with it. Might have been just 3, because I was anxious to switch over and try the super and see how it was working out for me. This, like I said, this blade, I have been taking and I just take it out. You just bend it down, pull it out like that. Pretty easy to take out of there. If you haven't seen one of these, that's what it looks like. In your post, that's where these 2 holes right here is where it'll snap in at. Really easy. It's not tough. Of course, then again, on my supply injector, I hand load my blades in there. I don't use it as an injector with the key in there and slide it in. I just place the blade in there and pop my blades in like that and put it together. Works well for me. Makes it that much easier to be using the Persona mini hair shaper blades. And it's the same injector blade. It's just that the dispenser does not have the key on it. So that's how you can get you might say, the workaround from using those kind of blades in that dispenser and getting it in a supply injector. Great shave. I love it when it's like this, when you get a new shaver and things work out great for you. I really, to be honest with you, I cannot say enough about this kind of aftershave. It does say cool on here, and I can't remember if it's got a light touch of, it feels like it's got a light touch of menthol. I don't think it's eucalyptus. The restrictor, I don't know if you can see that, it's fairly small. Easy to control how much you're getting out of there, just give it a few shakes. But when I put this on, the 2 I used before this one here, like I said, just no burning, goes on nice and smooth. And I couldn't begin to describe the scents. They are different. I just can't be able to I'm not able to put a finger on what the scent is. So far, they all smell great. I think the dogs are fussing over some food. That or a chew bone. Really does go on smooth. Like I say, for $1.95 for 3 ounces. It's an easy one to get a hold of to give it a try. Smells great. My face feels, I mean, from the time that I put it on, in my opinion, it just about rivals Barbado. As it goes, when you first put it on, how your face feels right after that. There's a slight cooling effect. It just really nice aftershave. And especially since they offer it in such a small bottle, it's easy to travel with. They offer the bigger ones, of course, but I wanted to use the small ones. It's easier to put in the in the den. Also, you get more flavors in a smaller space. Don't necessarily have to have the big bottle. In other words, I had a great shave. If you're interested in one of these, if I was to compare this being in the price range of $60, and I think the core runs $50 or $60. The core, the 1-blade core, this would be your better buy, because first of all, it's not made out of plastic. The stop hooks on the 1-blade core, if you're not careful, it'll shave those tops of those hooks off, those plastic stops at the front. This one here, it just takes just a moment to figure out how to get the blade in there. Once you do it once or twice, it's easy to get the blade in, easy to get the blade out. Like I said, the angle's already preset for you. Just put it there and run with it. Like I say, the only con would be the screws. And yes, you have to have your own screwdriver. It does not come with one, so you'll have to have a Phillips screwdriver. I'll have another video, probably see what that would be, on Saturday. Third shave would be Saturday. And Everybody stay safe and smooth shaves to you. Remember this time, Manny.